folks, sorry about the interruption. Apparently, we had some technical difficulties, so we had to, how do I say it, wheel and come again.
Stoppage.
Stoppage.
So
stoppage times only,
yeah,
man?
stoppage.
Oh,
No, there's
injury
just
time.
some stoppage during the game.
But there are times you go into a tournament and depending on the temperature, what the tournament regulations allow is a 5-10 minute break, so you can take a water break. These things happen in football. So
I want a
break, yeah. But guess what? What a break. WHAT.
That.
What a break. Anyhow, folks, we're back. Thank you for staying with us. We folks just joining us. We spoke about the DJ Dongo kickoff last evening at the Lawrence playing field. That's in Mabia. 2 good games. They're going to continue this coming weekend with a double header again. We have on set with us the Mr. Emmanuel Bellas, who is the St. Lucia women's under-20 football team head coach, the man in charge. And earlier we also spoke of how there is a buzz in terms of female football from the grassroots level to the school level, national level. Those days are working tirelessly to become what they want to become. And nobody better to tell us what he is seeing from where it is and where it is now and where it is headed. Mr. Bellas, tell us what you've seen. Have you seen an injection from the Central Football Association in women's football?
Obviously, I mean, as an executive member of the Football Association, I would like for this time for me to blow our own trumpet. There has been a lot of growth in terms of female football over the years. We have seen our under 14, our under 15 perform very, very, very well. Our under 14 last year went across to Cayman. They played 3 matches there undefeated. They were not winners because of goal difference, joint winners. The year before that, the under 15 reached as far as the semi-finals in Orlando. Our under 20 last year went across to Guyana in the U20 World Cup qualifiers, played 4 games. They won 3, lost against Guyana. They now have qualified for the next round that they are supposed to be playing that game on the 29th, which is Saturday coming. That team leaves the island on Wednesday. In relation to that team, what I have seen as compared to when we were in Guyana, I have seen growth both from the individual players and as a team. There is a better understanding and appreciation of how the game is played. They have matured a bit, but as anything else, knowing that the game of football, what the game of football is, it is still a work in progress. So I am not going to come tonight and say that these girls are ready for competition because at under 20 level. So it is a work in progress that we are hoping that these girls sooner or later can transition into a senior setup. But if these girls are left on their own, then it is going to let everything fall. So what has to happen now? They need to be given all the encouragement that they need, both from the SLFA and the overall St. Lucian public.
Good. Coco, of course, you heard what your father said. They seem to be growing from age range to age range. And again, they're playing out of the region, not only in St. Lucia, but playing in Cayman, playing in Orlando. That too helps with experience. We know the challenge, of course, as you go older, you're going to get a stiffer competition. Based on what your dad said, and of course, I know you're a guy in the mix as well. How do you see us fail?
I mean, and that is a question I was going to throw to the coach. I mean, whenever you go into a competition, Mr. Bellas, there are expectations that you have. I think majority of the time you don't just go there to compete. I mean, you go there to win or to participate fully. What realistically is the expectation of the under-20 team going into this stage of the tournament?
The girls have watched some of the games, especially the USA game. Now, we first must understand how it is that we are going to Dominican Republic, because we are going to Dominican Republic to play the round of 16. The round of 16 is a knockout tournament, because we've qualified from Guyana, from the group stage. Now, we expected to play the winner of Group C. In Group C, you have USA, you have Cuba, you have Honduras, you have Dominican Republic.
Big names.
Exactly. So not only big names. If the USA were to come out top of that group, then these girls know what it is that they're in for. We had a training session yesterday. USA played on Saturday. And these girls came to the training ground and realized, I think USA beat Cuba about 9. The mood among these girls was that they do not see that is happening to them. However, realistically, football is played on the field. My expectation of that team is to go out there and perform to the maximum. Let the results take care of itself. Because losing 1-0, losing 8-0 is going to boil down to performance. So if you are satisfied that what you have been working on, that you see that implemented on the field, then that is going to give you some kind of encouragement. So I think more than anything else, in terms of what we're expecting, it's for the girls to go and execute to the best of their ability. Forget that they are playing USA and understand it is 11 females versus 11 females, and let's put the best foot forward.
So are you saying realistically that it's more about the performance than the result?
To a large extent, yes, because we cannot fool ourselves and believe that we're going to go out there and give the USA a run. No, I think that would be foolhardy.
But what I was getting at, in terms of being realistic, also there's the mental challenge of it all. Knowing fully well that they saw the US what they did to Cuba, 9-0. That's the cloud that is there. There's no getting away from that. How do you prepare them mentally for such a task?
That is another challenge that we have, because I still believe that there are some of the girls that need to grow mentally, and I have that as a challenge. I even believe too that on another level, the St. Lucia Football Association may even have to bring, well, I don't know if it's a performance enhancer or a psychologist, but you need somebody to speak not only to these girls, but to most of all, if not all of our footballers. Because I still believe, if I were to use the local palace, that some persons still see football now as tibutic. So we need to get away from that. There are too many opportunities, especially with the way CONCACAF is going now. Then in the days that you used to play, you used to get into a CFU competition. So you play the Windward, then you play 1 or 2 teams in the Caribbean. That has changed now. You are a member of CONCACAF. CONCACAF puts everybody in the bag and go ahead and play who it is that you get.
And I'm happy you saying so, because the T-boutique mentality, can lead you up to one point. But as you go further, and now it's not even about sub-regional, you play international teams. You don't know about the USA, where the women have a better record than the men.
Yes.
Yes. You're talking about American football, you're talking about women's football in America.
You know, I'm talking not football, soccer. So it's a massive challenge. It's a massive challenge. So I know, of course, the hurdle, of course, will be mentally. And I'm happy that you mentioned as well that the FA needs to step in and say, you know what, let's take it to another level. Let's see if we can bring in a specialist and see how we could prepare those. Yes, they are sound and ready in terms of their football skills and how much they can do. But there are times where you could win that game mentally, or probably restrict the scoreline mentally. It's going to be a 90-minute affair, and you know what you're up against. But if you hold your shape, you stay between the lines, you make it difficult. You frustrate the opposition.
Exactly.
You're in for something.
Because you want to have a situation where you have 11 players on the field, and you want to know that you've got 11 fighters, and a player is not going to look at you as the coach on the line because they got a little shoulder charge and they fall. That you've got to step over this thing. So all these mental things have to get into place.
There you go. Of course, it seems that definitely, Mr. Bellas, that strides have definitely been making. Are we seeking not assistance, but other persons from the outside? Of course, we always speak of young ladies who got scholarships and they move on, they play at their colleges. Are we going to see a lot of those youngsters come back to be a part of this setup?
It has happened with the under-17, because when the under-17 came from Honduras last year, there was a young lady, Naomi Henry, who came to join the team. So we have been scouting for players at all levels to join the national team. And there was discussion between she and her dad in terms of getting across to that team, but it was not possible to have had her at that time. And even with the senior team, we know, because the senior team is going to Jamaica, we have Andy and we have other overseas players that have been joining some of our national teams.
Good. Of course, I know. Of course, you spoke about the training sessions, and Winners TV have been busy at it in terms of getting the ladies prepared, because of, like I mentioned, not only playing football, but also the media, because you have interviews. There is so much that you have to do in terms of preparation for international competition. So let's take in some interviews from our young ladies who are going to be carrying the colors of St. Lucia in terms of women's football.
I believe that as a team, we are almost at where we are supposed to be right now. The training we are undergoing at the moment is very intense, I should say, and that this training is going to lead us to where we want to be in the future.
We've been working hard, so I guess we just have to go with confidence and determination and try our best, no matter who the opponents are. We are 11 girls playing on a team together as one, so we'll go on the field and try our best.
I should say that we had 2 practice games, but I don't think that these games were played to the best of our ability. I think that we needed harder opponents, the opponents we had, they weren't like at this high standard, so we played almost just as they would, but we need to play at our level. So when we get to the US, we're going to do that.
It feels great to just represent your country and wear the country on your chest, you know. So we're just going to use that as more motivation to carry us into our various tournaments. And
it's also a pleasure playing against one of the most top teams in the world. We're going to get the experience that we are looking for as a team. I would tell them that they need to keep their mind on their goal. They need to keep focused. They need to go at whatever they're aiming for.
yeah, try their best, be the person they want to be determined, never let anybody put you down, never let a stumble be the end of your journey, and just continue to strive for what you want in life.
Expressing themselves, that's what you want. You want some confident young ladies in front of the camera saying exactly how it is. They know what they're in for, and clearly, based upon how they spoke, you can see who the coach is. So some of the similarities are in there in terms of the motivation.
The captain was right.
Yeah, because that's what it is.
You're going to start at 0-0,
Yes.
and it's 11 versus 11. You know, go out there and see what you could get.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, it could be a learning curve for them as well.
Great Rackle said it's a pleasure for them to be there.
What's wrong with that? You know what I mean?
And what we need to understand, we are looking at 2 under 17 players who have also represented St. Lucia at the senior level, because both of these girls were in Jamaica last year with the senior team.
Okay,
both of them were on the starting 11, played all the
So they
games.
basically represent at every level.
Yes.
At the top level. Good. So it's all well and good, folks. Also, we now have a situation where the young ladies are going to introduce it. That's the fun part I like about it. Winners team taking to another level. Let's hear from the young ladies, their positions, and look how enthusiastic they sound.
My name is Ilana Lashley. I'm a midfielder and I'm from Beaufort South. My name is Shakira Class. I'm a defender and I'm from Beaufort South.
My name is Anika Louis. I'm an attacker. I'm from Nashville. My name is Tiffany Allen. I'm a defender and I'm from Canaries.
My name is Stephanie Ale. I'm a defender and I'm from Canada. My name is Jenna Maffrey. I'm a midfielder and I'm from Canaries.
My name is Raquel John. I'm a defender and I'm from Canaries. My name is Renala Francis. I'm a goalkeeper and I'm from Canaries.
My name is Cassandra Shepard. I'm a midfielder. I'm from Canaries.
My name is Gian Henry. I'm a defender and I'm from Super.
My name is Jana Hilton. I am a midfielder and I am from Beaufort.
My name is Shakel Chawi. I'm a midfielder and I'm from Benin.
My name is Katina Joseph. I'm an attacker and I'm from Denny.
My name is Kenna Lionel. I'm a goalkeeper and I'm from Beaufort. My name is Britannia Sempri. I'm a defender and I'm from Beaufort. Tonica Bernard from Canaries, midfielder.
My name is Christian St. Louis. I play attack and I'm from Beaufort South.
So clearly we have a really a good national team.
Nice mix.
Canaries,
But just looking at that, Tennyson, you would understand why Canaries won the under 23 competition and Beaufort was second, because the bulk of that team. Yes. I mean, out of the 18 players we have there, I think about 14 or 15 of them are from Beaufort and Canaries combined.
So is it difficult to get that team together?
It was not difficult to get that team together because a lot of these girls started from under 15, so they grew up playing. So these girls have a bond between them. So what happened this year is when last year when the SLFA organized the under 23 tournament, some scouting was also done because compared to Guyana, we have 5 new faces on that team that went to Guyana. I mean, I must admit, in as much as we are not where we were, but that team has more depth than what we went to Guyana with. When you look on the bench, you can see some changes that you would want to make compared to when you were in Guyana. You will have to say, oh boy, but I think it's a little different here.
Cool. So, CONCACAF look like we're in for something to enjoy, something to look forward to in terms of the competition.
Definitely look forward to. I mean, one thing for me, Dennis, I just like to see individuals going out there and competing. And the girls seem that they are up for it. You know, they're gonna be there. They're gonna put their best foot forward, and let's see what you can get. I mean, like the coach said, it's more about the performance and not the result. So go out there, present yourself to the best of your ability. Let's see what happens.
Sure, because of course you have put in a lot of hard work. So now is to showcase what Mr. Bell has taught you guys on the playing pitch, and of course put it on the playing field.